Hey guys, welcome to another session of Theorycraft. Today, Foxy Witch, Trickster, says, can we name this title Hyohception? And I think it's fine. I'm gonna name it Hyohception. So on stream here, the stream title is Theorycraft Hyohception. Later, I'll think of what to name this on YouTube, and even the thumbnails. I'll try to come up with a funny pun, I guess. But today's topics, let's get into this. There is a lot of people in the stream right now, and we're going to be discussing Hyoh, as the title says. First thing is how to budget build a Hyoh. So this might be beneficial for some new players. New players might not even have the certain gears that we're going to talk about, but at least you know what to aim for on your Hyoh. If you were lucky enough to pull him this week or even in the future, we might look into some future TDH gear or true double hand gear that comes down, and why true double hand is important for Hyoh as well. We're going to look at Hyoh's team compositions, as in the best theoretical team comp for running Hyoh, because you really want to maximize Hyoh's damage output. That is pretty much his kind of niche. You want to build your team around him instead of building it around like a full balanced team. It's pretty much going to be all sided on him. And the very last thing I want to cover is Hyoh's chaining families. So knowing his chaining families will also help you know that, you know, if you pulled off like a off banner Fravia, is like, hey, is Fravia good? Most people at this point would be like, yes, she's really good. She can also chain with Hyoh. This is gonna be like the meme going forward. People are gonna be like, hey, is this unit good? It's like, yes, he can chain with Hyoh. He can chain with XXX unit, right? So we are going to talk about that right now, starting from the first topic. I want to give some obviously some shout outs to people talking on stream. I'm going to try to interact with them as we're doing this. Karmic Nova asks, Squall doesn't play well with others, why would he get chaining partners? Go play FF8. Okay, so someone asked before, does Squall get chaining buddies? And I think I said no. The Tweak says, hey, Jagan and chat. So the Tweaks, man, you made it right on time. Let's get started really quickly. I want to do a sort of a budget build for Hyoh here. Now, I will say right off the bat that this budget build is pending that you have Hyoh at 7-star. I won't deal with Hyoh at his 6-star form. If you see that at his 6-star form, you really want to only replace the body, the armor here that I'm going to place on him, which is Hyoh's clothes. Actually, no, don't replace it. Don't replace it. If you have 6-star, still use Hyoh's clothes. The only thing is you're going to lose out a big benefit from it, because with his trust ability, he gets unlocks some counters to set up triple cast. He unlocks a 100% true double hand, and I'll explain it for some of the new players coming in, or even some of the veteran players that might not be new to the TDH meta and how it works. So maybe this would be helpful. For this budget build, again, I'm going to go with headgear. I'm going to use TMRs, okay guys, TMRs and some trial rewards. So if you are new and you see, oh man, it's that TMR, I'll never get that, I'll never get to that point, you know, this is part of the game, it's part of the grind, so don't expect this to happen overnight. Black Cowl is that ninja dude? What's that ninja dude called, guys? What's that ninja dude called? Kuma Getsu says sup YouTubes, and there you go. Hey Taruchi, good morning. Yeah, there you go. Hayate, there you go. Hayate is the 3-star base unit I wanted to talk about. So this is a 3-star base unit, 28 attack hat. All right, so we're gonna continue on. I'm going to give him one of his best in slot will be Tana Tris. Tana Tris comes from Gumuru. And Gumuru is a 3-star base unit, so it's highly likely if you're a free-to-play player, you pull on dailies, you pull on, you know, some banners over time, you might pick up a Gumuru. This is why I want to go with some 3-star base unit, 3-star base TMRs, because it is possible for you to get them. Now, another one to get would obviously be a Conrad's TMR, Revolving Saw. This is a 2-handed weapon. It's 130 attack, as you can see. It's a neutral elemental weapon, so you won't be able to use Imperils or Elemental Chain. But because it's a 2-handed weapon, it has a slightly higher damage variance than a single-handed weapon. What I'm gonna do for now is I will use a Revolving Saw, and I'm gonna go through as I'm going through. As you can see, the attack went up really fast. All right, I'm gonna remove this. All right, showcase one. So it's only 430 attack, right? And so for new players, you're like, hey, Revolving Saw is only 130 attack. How did I all of a sudden get 1041 attack? Okay, now I will explain this. It's because True Double Hand. So what True Double Hand calculates is also, it caps at 300%. So 100% True Double Hand for equipping his own Trust Master at 7-star. 100% means that you multiply 100% of the total sum of your equipment attack. What Double Hand and True Double Hand does is that it sums up all your equipment attack. So the higher sum of all of your equipment attack, flat attack, the higher your True Double Hand multiplier, or your True Double Hand becomes. Because it's a separate cap at 300, you could run stuff with really high flat base equipment attack with high attack passives in your abilities, and you would get a really strong Hyoh. So let's keep building here for a sec. We're gonna use an accessory. I'm gonna use a free accessory here. Most of you, if you've pulled a Hyoh or pulled 2 Hyohs and a 7-star him, you will be able to get Ifrit's Claw pretty easily. This will come from the Beast of the Dark. So that's another 100, about a 60 attack total, alright? Because it's a 30 attack, so you multiply 100 times, or 100% True Double Hand to that. Okay, so let me choose another one that might be a free one. Let's go with Augmentation Glasses here. This came from the Deus Ex event. If you were playing it, you might have gotten it. Okay, so there you go. And in his abilities, because this is a 2-handed weapon, you do want to avoid TMRs like a Double Hand. So Double Hand comes from Bart's 3-star base unit. So you most likely would get him, but this is something you can consider getting in the future, and I'm gonna talk about that in a bit. If you grind the game long enough, you're gonna get Adventure 5 for free by running your units in Expedition. So I'm gonna put that on as a default, the 40% attack right there. If you beat Beast of the Dark as well, you will, and you complete all missions, you will get Large Sword Mastery, so you're gonna put that up as well. So that, well, 1,398, not too bad, not too bad. If you're lucky enough, you can get a 30% attack. Let's put that on right now as a free ability. You can get this from a Gilgamesh trial. So I'm gonna put this on. Attack plus 30 right there. So right now we have 1,478 attack. This is really powerful, considering that if you're about the same level player right now, but for a dual wielder, you're not even gonna reach this kind of attack. You'll need better TMRs, like 4-star, 5-star base TMRs. You would need even maybe S TMRs to reach this kind of attack. I'm gonna go with another something that might be free and easily to obtain for you guys here. In one of my builds, one of the best in slot abilities would be something like let's say Fortitude and Vigor. So Star Ocean collab, if you played that, you might have pulled a Fidel, and if you watch my news video, I would have recommended you pull for Fidel, because it's a raid event. You get free TMR moves from it, and it gives you flat 40% attack. Ideally you would have this, or even Orochi's TMR, which is currently still available. So if you're a free-to-play player and you have a couple tickets, I would say shed a couple for Orochi, get that free Trust Mastery from the raid Mughals. And right now we already have a really decent Hyoh. I'm gonna double check his Esper to make sure he has a pretty good damaging Esper. He has Diablos right now. Most likely you won't be able to complete some of the harder ones, so I'm going to use an Ifrit as the default, Ifrit 3-star, and then we are at 1639 attack. As you can see, this is incredibly powerful. Like I said, this is nothing, alright? This gear, most of them are really easy to obtain. If you've even played the FF8 event, the previous King Mog event, or one of the previous ones, you could have purchased a 2-handed weapon at 125 attack, but it's not a Trust Master, so all you had to do was grind the event, and you would still have pretty similar attack right now. You would lose 5% attack, 5 attack from that. I'm gonna catch up a bit on the stream chat here. Loves, hey, good morning. Let's see, quickly catch up. Yes, Kumo Getsu said Orochi from DQ collab, exactly. Okay, Midi Celeste does this, it's really awesome here. Mini Celeste, thank you for this. I needed this stat to compare. He says my Orlando has 1500 attack without 5-star TMR, other than his own TMR. Okay, so that's good to know, but that's 7-star as well. But he does have his own TMR. Something to note. Does he have? It depends on the build. If he has 4-star TMRs, I wonder how much difference would it make. We're gonna increase this here. Oh yeah, okay, so Rare Ruby makes a good point here. He says, Jagan, Hyoh's glove is better than the glasses or the claw. Okay, that's actually really good. If you played this event, hopefully you would have got Hyoh's gloves. He's exactly right. I think it should be better. Blade energy would give 15% equip to a large sword and a 20 attack. Let's see. 1623. I think it lowered. 1623. Let's go back to augmentation glasses. 1639. Yes. So yes, it is pertinent that any true double hand unit, you want to actually max out as much double hand or true double hand as possible. Max them out as much as possible, because equipment attack is actually better than passives. Again, keep in mind also my passives are actually, my attack passive is actually max. I've max potted it, and so your regular attack passives would actually multiply your base attack, I think, with pots too. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna continue moving up the scale a bit. I'm gonna keep Black Cowl on, I believe, because this is my. I don't have was it Commander's Beacorn from Xyle. Xyle's TMR is he's a 4-star base unit. I think he has a 38 attack, so a 10 additional attack. I don't think I have anything that can replicate the Commander's Beacorn here. Black Cowl I think is the best I can do. Otherwise, I'm gonna try to go up the scale a bit. We're gonna try to go with a 4-star TMRs. Actually, no. Before that, let me do a really quick swap of the weapon. I wanted to do this. If you give him a single-handed weapon, now obviously this won't be fair because I do have some attack passives in Tana Tris, but let's say Excalibur, that will work too, even though I don't recommend you guys running Excalibur on Hyoh. Excalibur will work too because it comes from Cecil, 3-star again. But it's a one-handed weapon. What you can do though, when you have a one-handed weapon, is to swap out something like, let's say, attack 30. Let's remove it. And actually, let's swap it for double hand. When it's a one-handed weapon, you can use double hand. So this gives us a 50% attack increase to your true double hand passive, though. Your true double hand cap. So right now, we would be at a 150% TDH. And so you can see that it's not as good because we're still missing 10 attack from Revolving Saw, but it's not bad. It's something to keep in mind. Now obviously a best in slot would be something like Tana Tris or Flaming Blade Agni, but this is a 4-star. We're going to get into that in the next bit here. Tana Tris, as you can see, because I do have passive, so it's not exactly accurate, has a 18% in attack passives. I'm at a 1703. Now what I could do also is there's a Killian Scarf here, attack plus 20 and double hand technique. This gives 25% equipment attack to it, so 1739. Let me compare it again. My memory is really bad. 1739, 1703. Yeah, so Killian Scarf, this was a free, I think this was a story event item as well, or a King Mog item. I can't confirm this right off the bat. Oh, interesting. Karmic Nova says Beacorn is pronounced Bicorn. Okay, so it's Bicorn. It's okay. Bad Seller confirmed this. Killian Scarf is a story item. So he says, yes, as you can see, even as you know, a free-to-play player, all you really need to do is new free-to-play player rather. So even experienced free-to-play player might have better gear than this. All you need to do is grind. Do the grind, guys, and you guys can get some pretty decent gear. I'm gonna swap this out for something a bit more tangible. a bit more obtainable. There's a lot of event items I have here, so you might not have the exact same thing. Let's give Tiger Mask. All right, this is at least free. You're still at 1701. Let me swap this out really quick. Back to Excalibur, or even Erdrick's Sword. Actually, one-handed, 125 attack, really good. 1666. Dropped a little bit with the passives here, but everything is pretty easily obtainable. I'm gonna candy cap myself over and over here so you guys get the big picture of why I say, you know, you don't even need a TDH. Now, one of the things is, over and over in my multiple trial videos that I've used Hyoh, in other videos, I talk about backloaded chaining. Not only is his attack really impressive, even with all this free gear, it's mostly his attack that's what's most impressive. So Servant of the Blade has that backloaded chain. If you chain cap it with it, you chain with it, he does immense damage even at this kind of level. I'm gonna move up one more step to our 4-star 3-star setup, so you guys get the big picture again. I'm gonna go with a 2 Dash Earring. So Dash Earring comes from Dash, obviously. His TMR, now again, 4-star units, I get it. If you're free to play, it's harder to obtain them, so this might be a bit out of your reach, but hey, maybe you have 1 Dash, you can consider leveling it up. Flaming Blade Ignace comes from Elbis, also a 4-star unit. I'm gonna keep Black Howl here because, like I said, Zyle's Bicorn, sorry guys with the pronunciation, Zyle's Bicorn should be a better equipment for that. Double hand can be kept there. Large Sword Mastery attack here, and I'm gonna go with let's go with a Fortitude and Vigor. And because of Item World, it does really make it a lot easier to get some good high attack. Go Fortitude and Vigor here. So 1747. Seems that we dropped a bit lower, and the reason is because I'm using a one-handed weapon and I removed the true double hand or double hand passives. If I use Revolving Saw, it drops even a bit more. Ideally, if you had no way a free-to-play player would have this, but if you had Squall's, maybe Squall's TMR, you should have higher attack. It's a 2-handed weapon. Also, having higher attack, even dropping a bit of your total attack, is okay if you have a 2-handed weapon like Squall's TMR or even Revolving Saw, because of the higher damage variance. Higher damage variance will output more damage than having higher total attack. That's my observations, at least. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Karmic Nova says, we meant to talk about backload myth when you're able to read it. We were talking about it during Hyoh explanation. Sorry, I'm not quite sure. Servant of the Blade has a 5.6 times total multiplier already? Does it? No, you gotta be kidding me. No. The backload? Stats, Hyoh's stats give him the high attack, not the backload. Hyoh's stats give him the high attack. Let me see here. I know that in his trust, in his 7-star, he gets something here. He gets a 0.5 times mod to Servant of the Blade, but how does that make that 5.6? So Servant of the Blade has a 0.5 times physical damage without being level 120, right? The backload is a 1.8 times physical damage with a 50% ignore defense. So ideally, you're getting a 1 times physical damage divided by 6 for the first 6 hits, and then a 3.6, right? Is it additive? So, okay, so if that's the case, then 0.5 times additional to Servant of the Blade, let's see what that would be. 0.5 times 2. Okay, so yeah, the backload would be a 5.6, but not the first 6 hits though, right? Is that something I forgot to mention? Yep. Yeah, so 1 times becomes 2.3. Oh, no, I don't think that's how it works. No, 1 times doesn't become 2.3. How does it? It would be 2, only 2. It's 0.5 plus 0.5, and then they ignore 50% defense. No? Karmic Nova says no. Yes, yeah, okay, so 0.5 becomes 1, that's right. Yes, the backload becomes 2.3, yes, and then you times by 5 because of the ignore defense. Yep. So 5.6. That's 4.6? Yes, 1 plus 4.6. But you don't consider the total when you're doing the backloading, right? So I guess you can. I don't add them together. I don't add the 6 hit multiplier with the final. But yes, if you want to easily say that it is a 5.6, because it's a separate hit, right? Even in the arena, you know that they're separate hits. So for Hyoh, at least, if you do Servant of the Blade, you do 6 hits that add up to 999 if you can do that much damage, and then the final hit is another 999. So I count them as separate mods. They're really 2 skills in one. I don't add their multipliers together, but I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, yes, you get a 5.6 if you single hit, I suppose, your total damage. But if you chain it, it's a whole different story. Mindy Celeste says second cast of the dual cast is a full 5.6. Second cast of the dual cast. Because you're capped, you mean? Because you're fully capped. If you chain it, you mean? Because I don't see how that works. I'll probably take this off stream because I don't know if that's how it works. Alright, I'm gonna let them keep typing here to stream delay. Yes, okay, so Mini Celeste, yeah, because you're chain capped. Yes, so yes, technically, by then your cap would be 5.6, yeah. But you multiply the chain cap on top of it though, right? So you don't cap at 5.6, technically. Your output damage isn't capped at 5.6. You're also adding chaining modifiers to it for each hit going forward at the max cap. So what, four times is it? Okay, so I'm gonna continue to do this. I lost my train of thought. So yeah, so one thing to note again, if you want to go with probably the best gear right now would probably be the elemental weapons. If the trial or boss you're facing or content you're facing has no elemental weakness or is weak to that specific element, you do want to take charge and use his imperils. Now, as you're building him and you're getting some 5-star base equipment, and maybe for potentially in the future STMRs, I'll show you guys what you would need. So a lot of you guys, even if you're new players, you would know that, okay, you want to go for 2 Martial Glove, because Martial Glove has a really high base attack. Like I said, remember the True Double Hand is calculated with the total sum of your equipment attack. So 2 Martial Glove, let's go and put this on here. 2 Martial Glove with Hyoh's gloves. Now that is Hyoh's clothes and his trust ability. That is a total of 200% true double hand, because each Martial Glove gives 50% TDH, true double hand. And I'm going to swap in double hand. I'm going to swap this out here. I'm going to give him Buster style. So this is Cloud's TMR. Gives an instant 100% TDH, true double hand. And so with Precious Hairpin, this is the highest attack hat you can get right now from a 5-star TMR. The next highest one we'll get will be Eileen's STMR, and I believe Eileen is coming out this week or in the future for sure, but that's a 52 attack, so a best in slot would be Eileen's there. Now you might be thinking, oh man, there's no way I can get an STMR if you're a free-to-play player, but yes, I know that some people can. Revolving Saw, as you can see, because we have 300% TDH, so your multiplication becomes higher, so you definitely, like a 5 attack difference makes a whole lot of difference. So True Double Revolving Saw at 130 attack gives 2202. If I give him Brotherhood here, actually no, because that's not a large sword, so I can't actually showcase it. If I gave him Cloud's STMR, he should be at about 2500 attack, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, Revolver Saw versus Flaming Blade Agni here dropped a bit, even though Flaming Blade Agni has no passives, but it's higher attack compared to Tana Tris. Tana Tris would be a bit more because it has a bit more attack passives. Doesn't lose too much from the equipment attack, but as you can see, it still is a bit weaker, even though his attack passives can't make up for true double hand. If I went with Revolving Saw here, actually no, it did. So it's, yeah, no, it is it's a lot stronger actually. So yes, with the passives, let me quickly quickly catch up here. Yes, so Mini Celeste chain cap is 4 times mod. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so I wanted to talk about this. So this is, at the moment, would be the best in slot build if you are going with something like Tana Tris or Flaming Blade Agni. There are some people that have been really smart and use the Dark Knight Cecil's or DKC's STMR, which gives a 100% attack bonus, but only for single-handed weapons, so you can't do it with Cloud's STMR, but also has an additional 30% attack. At the moment, we have a cap of 300% regular attack passives. That's including the unit's innate passives. So 300% attack, if you cap that, there's no use going higher, and 300% TDH. Now, someone on stream did ask, when are we going to get the cap lifted? So in JP at the moment, because they are about a year ahead, they have a 400% regular passive cap. That, with the best in slot gear, that should get Hyoh to about 2650, 2680, even at a 2700 with some of the released material there in JP. 2700 attack on Hyoh, which is really good for Hyoh, because the thing about Hyoh is that his TMR ends up being his handicap in the future. 28 attack is really too weak for clothing, but he does need it for that trust ability. Otherwise, for future true double hand users like Jekt, Oron, all of them will benefit more from Lunith's clothes. Now, we are getting to a bit of a whale territory, or if you're just a really lucky or very long time player, maybe you have Lunith's clothes. This will give a 45 attack, but as you can see, the attack dropped a lot because the equipment attack does not equal or does not beat the amount of equipment attack on Hyoh's clothes plus his trust ability, plus it has 30% attack equipped with large sword. So that will eventually be Hyoh's downfall, would be his own TMR. Let me catch this up here. Okay, so not much happening on the chat. So next topic I want to get to, so hopefully this has been helpful, at least the building of Hyoh. Again, if you are a new player or free to play, or maybe you're a pay to play player but you're new, at least you know what kind of equipment you want to aim for. It's really good to have just a bunch of equipment that you can swap here and there. Now, I was also told that if I went with Delita's STMR, so Subservient, it's 80 attack, but you do lose 20% or 2000 HP per turn, so it's not ideal for anything unless you can heal it every turn. And if I went with Subservient here, and I swapped out Dash Earring, swap 2 Dash Earring rather, and then so I'm at a 150% true double hand, and I used rather Nalu's TMR, so another 5-star base TMR. This gives you a 50% true double hand with a 25% attack. This would get me the highest attack I can get. So let me get the Revolving Saw. Let's see here, 2289, Flaming Blade Agni 2269, and then Tana Tris 2263. So at this point, because I'm near, or I am capped, actually, I think I am capped at my attack passives, the Tana Tris attack passives in from Item World is not adding to my attack. So that's why I'm seeing a bit. So 2289, I think I am capped attack fully. Yeah, 2269. So 2289. This would be the best. If you had Squall's TMR and you didn't really care about elemental damage, you didn't really care about whether you take 2000 HP or not. I will say this right off the bat: if you have Delita's STMR, unless you're running an event with a one-turn KO like a raid or something, don't put this on for your friends. It's such a troll. I've been killed multiple times going into an event or a trial or whatever. Let's say like a event trial with someone with Subservient, and it ended up costing me the battle. So Mindy Celeste asked a good question. How about Elementalist two-handed versus Elemental one-handed weapon? Mindy Celeste makes a good point, and I believe he's asking this not because he doesn't know, but because he thinks this is important to bring up. Two-handed weapon, depending on the damage variance. If you have a Cloud's STMR, it has a 1.55 times damage variance with 100%. So ideally you get about, I think, a 1.3 times on average. So that's about 30% more damage. If you just like do a really surface level math, about 30% more damage output. If you plan to use some sort of imperil on Hyoh, doesn't matter if he's using a holy elemental weapon, a dark elemental weapon, as long as you imperil from an outside source, you're still going to do more damage, as long as the imperil is 50% or more, or rather 30% or more. Ideally, you would want to run, again, like I said, Tana Tris or Flaming Blade Agni, at least a fire or lightning weapon on Hyoh, since he can self-imperil that in his dual cast. So it doesn't really waste a turn, it just wastes a bit of damage if you don't dual cast Servant of the Blade. Imperil's elemental weakness will always do more damage than damage variance. The best scenario will be to imbue from an outside source and to imperil with him, or from an outside source again. So someone like Ignace from FF15, he's going to be coming soon. He's someone that you guys can keep in mind. If you really love Hyoh, and we will talk about this in the team building thing, if you really love Hyoh, you might want to invest in Ignace. Okay, Sanu DJ says, can you show Tomb Raider with Swift Hunter and 1 Buster Style and 2 Deshi Ring? Okay, let's see how much damage we get. Let's see, let's do that. 2289 with Revolving Saw, since we are capped with the Subservient. So I'm going to go with 2 Deshi Ring here. And this is brought to you by Sanu DJ. So I'm going to remove something. I'm going to remove Large Sword Mastery. I don't think we will get really high differences. 2289. Tomb Raider. 2175, which means that he will probably need to use Tana Tris for that extra cap at 2183. Yes, so it is a bit lower. As a lot of people were saying that, you know, if you don't have too much true double hand gear, definitely, you know, use Tomb Raider, use Swift Hunter, use what you have, true double hand, and max out your equipment attack, the sum of it, and you should have pretty good damage. But if you have, obviously, if you have Martial Glove, even 1, go with Martial Glove for sure. And you can even consider, again, like I did in the previous couple minutes, use Killian Scarf for that 25%. If you're using a one-hand weapon, 25% double hand with 20 attack. It's still a really good free materia there. So I'm gonna swap this back really quick, and we're just gonna talk from here on. We're gonna talk about I give him Adventure 4. It doesn't matter. Let's see here. Let me catch up. Yes. Oh, Elementalist two-handed can't take advantage of Phantom Blade without imbue. Yes, that's right, Mindy Celeste. That's right. You can't really even take advantage of your other Imperial skills as well. Alright, let's continue moving on. Next topic. We spent a lot of time on this. So 30 minutes on this. Wow. Time flies. Alright, so next thing I wanted to talk about is the team, Hyoh's team composition. So we were talking about Ignace, so we may as well start off there. Ignace, again, coming on the FF15 banner. Definitely look toward him. I think he would be a pretty decent support unit if you are running Hyohs. You know, in a couple trials going down the line, Hyoh will still probably be the best damage dealer. Now, Transterra is coming like this week, I believe, so she'll be like the best magic damage dealer. Hyoh will be the best physical damage dealer, and like I said, eventually if you guys have really strong weapons, or even if you had a Conrad's TMR, because of the higher damage variance, it would be nice to imbue an element to your Hyoh from an outside source. Ignace can do that. Ignace is a buffer. He can have healing, similar to Nicole. His buffs are not as strong and potent as Nicole, but Ignace is definitely really good. He has his own niches for sure. He has like LB fill rate, all that good jazz, MP recovery, HP recovery. What his specialty is, but you have to get him at a 7-star, is that he can dual cast imbues for 3 turns to 1 ally. He can imbue fire, lightning, and ice. Covers 3 of the main elements. At least 2 of them are main for Hyoh here, but it doesn't really matter. But if you have outside imperils, it doesn't matter. Maybe you had an ice imperil. Let's say you have Fravia. All right, let's say you have Fravia as one of your chaining partners instead of another Hyoh. Fravia with her Frost Flower Blitz, which is perfect chaining with a Servant of the Blade, can reduce ice imperil by 75% if you've enhanced her FFB. 75% imperil is no joke, and then you can imbue with Ignace, imbue ice to Hyoh with Revolving Saw, higher damage variance, and if you have Squall's TMR, again, 2-handed weapon, even better, higher damage variance, and in the future Cloud's STMR, which is what I will get in the future. I'm really looking forward to Cloud's STMR. Mwahaha. Once you can outside imbue, you can elemental chain one with Fravia and building on her Imperial. The damage will be so nutty. I can't even wait. Once all these units get their 7 stars, you know, more STMRs released, I will make more showcase videos so you guys can see the practical aspect of it. But for those of you who are vets, you can imagine the crazy amount of power that you'll have if you have these units. So Ignace, is he someone to pull for? This, you know, I'll cover this if he comes on a news video or whatnot, but right off the bat right now, I would say I think he might be the only 7-star unit that I would want at a 7-star for the next couple of banners going forward. The rest, I would say I only want 1, but for that dual cast imbue, and he does have other niches, like I said, he's not terrible. Each buffer has their own niche, so he might be good. I would say also another one, again, we're talking about team composition here, is Reagan. Reagan is a beast. Obviously, Reagan can imperil fire while he's chaining with Hyoh. Okay, so again, we're going to talk about the chain families in a bit, but he can imperil fire for Hyoh. If you maxed out Reagan's LB, it's a 100% fire imperil. Now, if you watch my YouTube videos in sequence, you would have seen me take on the Marlboro, the new Marlboro trial. It caused me a lot of grief. I've lost to that a couple times because of a lot of RNG aspects. I ended up using CG Sakura, or Sakura, Blossom Sage Sakura, as one of my support and damage dealers. And then after I did that trial, I was talking to a couple guys on Discord, but a member on Discord, VPP, I'm gonna give you a shout out here, and he is on stream as well. He ran with this. I theory crafted a team that would be better than Sakura herself. I said, hey, Reagan would fill Sakura's role even better because Reagan gets his LB pretty quickly. He has skills that can get his own LB up, and his LB, if you max it, has a 100% fire imperil. 100% fire imperil means that by phase 2 on Marlboro Mom, if 2 of your Hyohs are pretty well decked out with fire weapons with plant killers max, 250% plant killers from Ifrit, and 2 plant killer materia, you should be able to one-shot the Mom on phase 2. So if you guys are watching this and you guys haven't done it and you watch my trial video, I might make a makeup trial video for that one actually, because I really want to test out Reagan. He's really awesome. His 100% LB Imperial, it becomes a absolute beast for Hyoh. One, Hyoh doesn't need to waste a turn imperiling. Okay, And Reagan has a lot of supportive aspects. He can buff up elemental resistance, not all, but he can buff them up. He can get MP back, and Reagan, because he has passes with large sword, katana, sword, daggers equipped, he has 50% attack for each. It's really easy to cap Reagan. I'm gonna see if I can find Reagan here. My Reagan is not even max leveled because I originally thought, you know, I won't even use him much. But I might actually level him just for this trial. He can equip like a bunch of weapons, and with his TMR on, he gets LB fill with really high attack. I'm pretty sure I can cap him while fully decking out my Hyoh, so I'll have to check it out. But because he can equip both swords, katanas, large swords, you have a lot of fire chaining weapon options. If you have only one Flaming Blade Agni, you can really realistically give Reagan a Venard if you're there for that that event. It's a sword with a fire attack. Let's see here, let me find it here. You could give him Crimson Saber, but if you're running Awakened Rain, I would say keep that on Awakened Rain. You can go with Crimson Saber, of course, but Venard here is a fire elemental sword at 76 attack. Of course, he has innate dual wield, so you can go like Masamune, Sephiroth's katana, or of course you can go with Homaru. Actually, wait, that was not Homaru. It looks like a fire blade. Homaru here with a 120 attack fire katana, and then give him a really strong, let's say large sword, to work on his passives, or really strong sword. Let's say a onion sword here. Let me give him onion sword. So something like that. It would be really fun to do. So another buddy for Hyoh is obviously Reagan. Yes. Seba also says, Seba, hey man, welcome to stream. Seba does says that Sephiroth or Reagan. So Reagan is another unit you want to go with Hyoh. I think an upcoming 10-man trial. I think his name is like Brachious or something. He's an assassin or a thief or something like that. He's a human and demon, if I remember correctly. I'm most likely going to run Hyoh as a physical damage dealer for that, and Sephiroth. So Sephiroth, one of his things is that Sephiroth can chain both of Hyoh's chaining families, and again, we will get to the chaining family when we get to that topic. Both chaining families that Hyoh has, both the Onion Knight family and the Divine Ruination family or Orlando family chaining. But Sephiroth has innate Man-Eater, which would alleviate a lot of the Man-Eater if you were taking on like human type trials. Alleviate a lot of the Man-Eater material you have, and you could put that on Hyoh, and then you can share the load between the killers on both units. Again, Sephiroth, because he does imperil dark and light as well in his Divine Ruination chaining frame by 60%, it might be nice to have Sephiroth with a elemental weapon and Hyoh swap to elemental weapons. Again, that depends on the trial you're doing, or vice versa. Stick to electric or lightning and fire elemental with Hyoh, imperil with him, and then give Tana Tris or a lightning sword to Sephiroth, or Homaru, the light fire katana, to Sephiroth, and you've got really good partners there. 84 Grolix asks, what about Sakura? Doesn't she imbue? She imbues at 7-star, yes. She imbues lightning, yes. So Sakura could be a good. Emperor Shira is also a good one, but also these are all pending 7-stars. Emperor Shira at 7-star can imbue fire, and then also chain perfectly with Hyoh's Divine Ruination Orlando family chain as well. So all around very good to have. All these units are ones to look for. So if you're looking for Lightning Imperial, Ignace, Sakura, Dash can imbue lightning. Also Frank Pritchard from Deus Ex, and also shout out to Montgomery here. I used to say Frank Picard, but he corrected me. He's like it's Pritchard, because in the game he's actually pronounced Pritchard. Frank Pritchard can imbue lightning. Now I haven't looked at Frank's full kit, so like how I would use him in a team composition. Montgomery's like LMAO. Yeah, dude, man, you get that shout out. Hey man, I wanna admit when I'm wrong, guys. I wanna admit when I'm wrong. Frank Pritchard, I haven't seen his full kit, so whether or not he'd be good as like a support unit, like if he has any other supportive aspects, I'm not quite sure. So how I would fit him in the team comp, I'm not sure, but I am just listing to the top of my head who can imbue certain elements. Yes, there. Red X says there is no great ice, good ice great sword or large sword, ice elemental. Not yet. I think with global exclusives, it could come. It could potentially come. So we gotta wait for that. I don't know how it would come. Maybe from another Christmas event. Maybe there's a new Christmas unit that comes out this Christmas. Who knows? That's another pie in the sky theory. But ice would be nice, so people can imbue ice as well. So like I said, Ignace, if you had Christine from the previous event, her LB can imbue full team with ice as well. So that can come in handy, actually. It can come in handy because if you imbue the full team with ice, no need for dual cast, just LB. And then the full team, let's say you run 2 Hyohs and both have, let's say, Squall's STMR, and you're fighting someone that has ice weakness, or maybe you run a Fravia again and you have Christine in there. Christine also has some good supportive aspects. Christine can break, attack and magic, spirit and defense. She can also have a 50% damage mitigation, although it does stop the unit that she casts on. But if you have stop resistance or even stop immunity, then totally you can disregard it. But 50% damage mitigation is incredible from what Christine can provide there. Yes. Haha, 84 Grolix made a pun. Just nice great swords, and what he means is nice because the ice is in there, so there's some pun. 84 Grolix, man. Yep. Yeah, Christine, Fravia, Hyoh for 1 million burst down. Yes, and then Christine she has finishers too, ice finishers, but magic style though. Oh yeah, there's also, there's a discussion on stream, but I'm reading it. There's also Urgrim's STMR. If a Valkyrie profile comes, one of the 5-star base units, his STMR is a lightning large sword, a lightning great sword. It's a two-handed weapon. It is the best in slot for Hyoh. I believe the attack is 168 right off the top of my head. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. But 168 attack, I think. So it's the highest lightning, well, second highest large sword, I think, STMR for Hyoh, or for anyone. But yes, it's a lightning two-handed. Badzilla says, is Nalu's STMR worth mentioning for Hyoh? And I would say yes as well. So one of the things, and Choco Pie, you get a shout out. I know you're not on stream here, but Choco Pie got for Nalu, and she got an STMR. And at the beginning, she was asking, like, is going with a large sword or with that Nalu's STMR, which is a lightning spear, is two-handed, would that be better? And I said, go with a lightning spear. If you can get his attack high enough. So if you had, let's say, Gilgamesh's STMR or Kane's TMR, all right, the Toning Kane, 40 attack or 45 attack for a Gilgamesh STMR, and you had, let's say, Duke's TMR, which gives you 60 attack total with helmet and lance or spears equipped, and if you had, let's say, Veritas of the Heavens TMR, which is a 50% spear mastery, you could definitely run Vajrayana, I think that's how you pronounce it, the lightning spear from Nalu, which would still give your Hyoh about a 2,100 2,200 attack if you have the best gear on him, and because it's a two-handed weapon and a lightning, it still does really good damage. At that point though, if you had more let's say TDH gear, so maxed out martial glove, you had Nalu's TMR Buster style, I think it might be good to swap out Hyoh's clothes for Lunith's STMR just to test, because you don't need that Blade Master, but then you do lose 100% of his trust ability though, his TDH. Something that needs to be theory crafted, but I don't have her STMR, so I can't do it myself. Yep. Oh, Rare Ruby says she has 6 Nalu. Probably. She pulls like crazy. Choco, man. Choco, you're a whale. Such a whale. I have too many whales on my Discord here, so it makes me look like a little tadpole. Last topic. Let's get on to it. Let's go to the last topic on this thing, and then we will end this stream here, or end this session of Theorycraft. Last thing is chaining families. This is really easy to cover here. This will also encompass all of the units going forward in JP currently at this recording date, so keep that in mind. So it's not pending any future units. So maybe you're watching this video 6 months later, and then JP has released like another whole batch of chaining family units. Don't come and comment and say, hey man, what about this? You can do it. I mean, I'll probably just reply and say lol. At the moment we have a lot of Divine Ruination family chainers, so Orlando family chaining, and this is, I think it's a 7 frame 7 hit chaining skill. We have Axstar, Yuffie, Zack, Crimson, Jekt, Sephiroth. Of course, this is talking about Hyoh, so Hyoh is included. Reagan, Laswell, Emperor Shira, Nagi, Veritas of the Dark, Tifa, Orlando himself, Gilgamesh, Jiraiya, Randy, what's his name? E-Stark. There you go. Agrius, if you even care about her, and Citra. So Agrius is only the 4-star unit there. Everyone else is 5-star, and they get most of their chaining family skills at 7-star though. 7-star. Okay, so almost half of those units that I read have that chaining family skill when they reach 7-star, not during their 6-star form, but then the other half do have it. Okay, the other chaining family is the Onion Knight chaining family, and here is the list. Here we go again. So we have Lauren, Sephiroth, Duke. Duke has Onion Knight chaining family. I was surprised to see this as well. Onion Raphia, of course, because she's an onion, and an Onion Knight with all his splendor skills, and I think full speed Blade Blitz. E-Stark again, Rayjack 7-star, and those are the only 5-stars that I want to mention in this one. So those are the ones with the Onion Knight chaining frames. Now, I was saying that I think Randy has Onion Knight chaining frames, and I don't think Randy has it. Randy does have quick hit chaining frames, but Sephiroth, I think right now he's still chaining king. He has way more families than anyone else. It's pretty incredible. I'm gonna catch up a bit on the chat here. Ryu711 says yes, but our Rayjack is different from JP's. How different is it from JP's? I'm not quite sure though. Is it like all the skills? I know he's a lot better in JP, but I'm not quite sure if the skills are different. And then we don't have Rayjack at 7-star yet, so I'm not sure if it's a 7-star skill. Hey Nero, welcome to stream. Midnight's like Rayjack equals bad. Yes, pretty bad. Anyways, those are the topics I wanted to cover today for this Theorycraft. We really did more theory crafting, like the crafting part of the Theorycraft, which is actually what it's supposed to mean. It's not supposed to mean like just thinking about theories. But we did more of that in this session here. Hopefully that has been helpful. I'm gonna end off this session here. No, I didn't forget really about Fry. I didn't mention Fry, but yes, Fry does have Fravia does have Orlando chaining as well. So you want to have her in that list. Am I missing anyone? I don't think so. Not for Hyoh. No, I think that's it. Yes, so Fravia has to be included. Thank you, Sublime Data, for that. So shout out to you. So let me end this here for this session of Theorycraft. Again, to continue the discussion, there's a lot of guys on the stream just like, hey Jagan, I pinged you on Discord. We want to continue the backload discussion. Thank you, Karmic Nova. A lot of discussion. If you have questions or even comments to add to this discussion, obviously post them in the comments below in the YouTube video. We will talk about that in the comment section there. Badsilla asks, did you talk about LB chaining? No, I didn't talk about the LB chaining. There are a couple LB chaining families for Hyoh, but only the frames match, not the beginning. So it's not perfect chaining families, only the frames match though. So you can spark chain it, but you can't perfect chain it. Unless, yeah. Anyways, let's end off this video here. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Thank you for those guys on stream that contributed, also added to the information that I didn't have, and correcting any misinformation I have, of course. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.